our presentation on MyDetective. We are Creators 2.0, and we are excited to introduce to our innovative project at natHACKS 2023. Let's explore how our app is setting a new standard in AI-assisted interrogation and emotional analysis. We built MyDetective using OpenBCI for EEG data, GPT-4 for intelligent questioning, and a responsive front-end with JavaScript and React. Our backend relies on TensorFlow and scikit-learn for robust emotion and lie detection. We have successfully gathered a substantial dataset comprising over 200 distinct data points, culminating in an impressive test accuracy rate of 87%.
Which school do you go to?
Oh, I go to University of Calgary.
We asked the interviewee about the background information during this demonstration and completed the initial form.
Go presentation first.
Now that we have completed the form, we get 3 questions from OpenAI API based on the information. The interviewer asks one of the questions. We analyze EEG, speech, and facial expression data. The data suggest whether the interviewee is lying or not and his or her emotional state. Based on these data and the response, the OpenAI API generates the next questions. This repeats. In this interview, we asked the interviewee why he hurt his uncle. He lied and said he didn't hurt anyone. We could see the output of our AI model suggested that the interviewee lied with emotion going from neutral to sad. Thank you for watching.
Before I start the presentation, I would like to thank all the judges for being here today, and congratulations to all the finalists here. Because our time is limited, I'll go very quickly. We're a bunch of third and fourth year biology, comp sci, and software engineering students. And we came up with this program called MyDetective. So what it does is it supports interviewers by analyzing emotional status and validity of an interviewee's response. So like whether the interviewee is lying or not, and by providing next questions. So to provide next questions, we are using the ChatGPT API. And the questions will be generated based on all the given data. Like we're analyzing the facial expression of the suspect or interviewee in this case. We're also transcribing the interviewee's response, and we're using a language model to analyze all the emotional data from that. And then we're using the EEG data to classify their response into either true or lie. So why MyDetective? So it guides the interview processes. So we'll touch on this later more. But of course, this is not going to just completely replace all the humans, but it will augment the skills and the abilities needed by the interviewers. And it can be also used for training by simulating it to train all the new interviewers. As well, it involves the multidimensional analysis. So as I said before, it is analyzing facial expression, also the transcription of the person, and is also analyzing the EEG data to analyze all the emotion and to analyze if the person is lying or not. So we'll get into the demo now.
Okay, I'll take over the live demo. So I'll play the role as an interviewer, and then Josh here will play as the interviewee. So first thing I want to do is to... Are we good now? Yeah. So first thing I want to do is to feed GPT or Chat API about the case, about the background of this interviewee, so it understands better about this person and the case, and then give us better suggestions of the questions. So I'll just fill it out really quick. So Isaac basically filled out the profile of this suspect, and then the case background, and then evidence we have so far, and then we're gonna fill out the history, criminal history about the suspect. We'll just put that. And then once we submit, it will try to generate the questions. And we can choose one of them to ask to the interviewee. And I'll start asking. So what were you doing on the day of the incident?
I was home alone. I was just watching TV and I was home alone.
And I'll stop remotely, and then you will try to retrieve the data and then analyze it. And then we'll just wait just a second. Yep, now we have the emotion data, transcribe data, and then the lie or truth or lie using the EEG. And then we can see the sequence of the emotion, how it changed from fear to neutral. Once we are done, it will be stored automatically in the list in the web. And then now if we want to ask more questions, we just have to simply press generate next questions. What we'll do is it will have the history of what we have asked, what was the emotion from the previous question, and then the form we filled out, the case data, and then the person's profile. So I'll just simply press the button, and then we'll try to suggest new questions now. And we'll just choose another one and ask again. So did something unusual happen on that day?
Yeah, I woke up late and then I just decided to cook breakfast and stay home. I never saw the victim that day.
And we'll stop. And we'll try to analyze again, and then we'll give it back, give the analyzed data to us, and we'll be able to display on the left panel.
Yeah, so any questions?
Is this your own problem, or did the problem get provided to you?
This is our problem. Yeah, we spent we spent almost like 2 days thinking of the idea, like brainstorming. Like we had a lot of headache, but yeah, we came up with the idea, and then we just didn't sleep, and then we just dived in, and yeah.
And have you done what kind of market research have you done to investigate how this could be used? Have you spoken to people in the field, or?
Yeah, so we didn't have enough time to speak to actual people in the field, but we research a lot. Like for example, like how many cases are there that in which the innocent people were actually like imprisoned and those kind of stuff. There were some cases, but it was the statistics were not very online, so we couldn't find it. But this could be used in many situations. So for example, in the very obvious one is a police investigation, obviously. And the second one would be the airport security interviews. And the third one would be also, because this is looking at the emotional data, like facial expression and the speech, we could also use this in the psychological institutes, or like those who need help with those kind of problems. So yeah, and this is very cheap as well, because like ChatGPT API is like relatively cheap, so it'll cost like around only $50 to generate almost 5,000 pages full of text generated by ChatGPT. So yeah, that kind of stuff were the market research that we did, and yeah, there was no alternative like similar to this product. So yeah.
Thank you.
I think there's a potential for using this also in the classroom, particularly when assignments are late and students come up with different reasons for why those are late. So I don't know if you have thought about maybe doing a pilot about this at the U of A. Can be an easy way. A question about, I think this connects. You mentioned something around how it could be used in the police, in the psychological hospitals and things like that. Assuming you find your customer, as in whoever, maybe it's the university, maybe whatever, what would be the steps that you will take to pilot this? Because you said there's nothing like this so far in your market research.
Okay, yeah, so the first comment about school implementing this, I don't want to get any anti-fans, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, so we'll do business-to-business model first because we're targeting the institutions or authorities that will be involved in investigation or interviews. So we'll first maybe distribute a small number of samples, programs for these institutions or authority to use, and we'll get some feedback from them. And then from there, we'll be maybe launching more bigger market into the bigger market after that. Yeah, so that's our initial that's the initial step that we would take at the moment. Thank you.
So that's a question, more a comment. You're talking about interviewers. I would say insurance companies. Another thing, some privacy concerns will be there, and just purely from the business point, you know, all business plan competitions, when you say that you don't know that there are any devices on the market, that's grade 0, because that means you just didn't search good enough. Frankly speaking, existing devices should be pretty close to what you propose, just with some minor variations.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I kind of misled with my previous response. Yeah, of course that there's some similar alternatives. Like, of course, like there's a light detection that uses a physiological responses like sweat, and also there was some research done on determining whether a person is lying or not based on EEG. But there was no actual product on the market at the moment. Yeah, but I'm sure that there are some other individuals out there who is trying to develop very similar one at the moment. Yeah, but yeah, like we researched a lot, and then yeah, we do have some uniqueness.
Lack of time is a good excuse.
Yeah.